Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to discuss one of the most monumental things that I did on my channel, one of which was getting a drone. This was courteously provided by King Boss Quad 3 years ago, probably at this point. It inspired me to up my game from picture content to video content, editing to everything that made my channel and all of the images I wanted to portray. Having some hip problems, I have a lot of issues keeping the camera low, keeping the camera at chest height, keeping the camera high, and giving you a smooth, consistent flow. So I have used this. We've probably flown it 140, 150 hours. We've covered almost 100 kilometers, 60 miles with it. It's been crashed probably 5 times at this point. And the last time it crashed, I just was unable to get the gimbal fixed. I bought the cables, I took it apart, I put it back together like I have many times. But to my demise, I was unable to put it back together. So, the time has come to upgrade. The time has come to change. The time has come to stop dreading not having a drone and being able to continue to create the footage I want to, the way I want to. I moved to a beautiful town that has beautiful filming locations, and not having my absolute knockout weapon for content, that was kind of getting to me. This is what I was flying. I was flying the DJI Mavic Pro. This drone revolutionized drones, content, accessibility, ease of flying. This drone is incredible. As mentioned, lots of hours. I have 2 extra batteries, the controller. I have a range extending amplifier for the controller right here. This is actually pretty neat. It's got foil inside. It essentially goes over top of the antennas and just amplifies the signal in a direction rather than them be more multi-purpose. The drone is super small. As you can tell, it folds up, does a beautiful job. I put new props on it because they broke when it crashed, but I wasn't able to fix it, so it hasn't flown since. I shouldn't say that. I flew it, I just had no picture and no gimbal, but it does fly. So that was excellent. The problem I had with the drones is this drone here is a little over $2,000 tied up in it. Even more than that probably. I think the Fly More combo was like $2,200 or $2,300. Just for what you see here, I added another battery. These are about $200 a piece, easily, plus a bunch of accessories, a multi-battery charger, this range extending antenna. I have landing gear feet that extend it so it will be able to land in grass, because you just never know where you're going to be, as well as I have a piece that goes on the joystick so that I can take this out of the controller, put it in my camera bag, because if these get too much pressure on them, you can actually damage the joysticks, which obviously renders the controller almost useless, and they're unreplaceable. So great kit. Even the case, like the case has a broken handle. We're missing one of the attachment points, and one of the clips just acts broke. This is like a $100 case. It's supposed to be waterproof and durable and protect your drone. It did protect it, but I do have to transport it using another bag because I have no trust in this one anymore. So this is the setup. I'm running it for years and hundreds of hours. It's done amazing. This is where we're moving to. This is the DJI Mavic Air 2. So it is the younger brother to the Mavic Pro that I was flying, but this is Gen 2. The Mavic Air kind of superseded the Mavic Pro, but never had 4K. So a great drone, and I'd buy it, fly it. There would be no questions asked, but I really wanted my 4K. From my hours of flight and the content created, it became painfully aware how important it is to be able to crop in your videos. So I do a lot of my videos in 1080p. I'll film a lot of them in 4K, especially when I get into higher end content and quality, when I'm trying to get the bokeh effect and I'm trying to get tighter shots and cropped and the background blurred out. When I'm flying the drone, it's always safer to fly further away. I actually broke the forward sensors on the Mavic Pro taking it apart the first time, so I didn't have forward crash detection, so I flew even further away. But when you fly, rather than fly 4, 5, 6 feet from an object, you're flying 20 feet from an object so that you have time to react and time to fix whatever you need to do. It makes it a lot easier that you can just crop into 1080 out of a 4K image and get a similar effect as though you were flying closer with the stability and everything else you need. So now we're here. This is essentially just an upgraded version in every facet. This is a lot bigger than the Mavic Air 1. This is a lot more powerful than the Mavic Air 1. This does 4K, 60 frames. This one only did 30 frames. This does 48 megapixel stills. I don't know if you've seen images from a drone footage for still photos, but it's incredible. This only did 12. And these photos were incredible. They changed everything I did. However, 48 is going to be great. Again, it allows me to crop. It allows me to tweak things a little bit differently than I otherwise would have. The drone, every camera processes photos now. Very, very few will just take a raw photo and give you a raw photo that you then take home to process. Most of them do all the work for you. Cell phones, point and shoots, all that kind of stuff. The stuff that we still use outside of the world of photography is very processed, including the image you're seeing and drones. So I would take my car being dirty, take it to a location during golden hour and take shots that looked unreal. The car looks clean and like a beautiful mirror finish. And I could never recreate that. It didn't matter how much money I spent and how much I cleaned my car. It was never going to look the same way as those shots that I took on the last minute of a dirty car in the middle of nowhere. So it was painfully obvious what needed to happen. So we're here with the Mavic Air 2. And I got the Fly More combo because it replaced everything. It comes with the bag. It comes with the same amount of batteries. Even though the batteries have like a 50% longer flight per battery, it still comes with multiple. It comes with ND filters, which I never had, which is going to further allow me to be more creative and allow me more camera effect and more lighting options and different things, which is great. Multi-battery charger. Like, this is literally everything I had replaced in a new version, which makes me pretty happy. So without further ado, let's get this open. So there you have it. This is the drone. It feels almost the same weight as the Mavic Pro, but it is definitely a little bit smaller. It's a little bit shorter and it feels a little bit taller, but a similar width. The batteries are definitely smaller. The controller is completely new. The ND filters, this looks like something straight out of an Apple showroom. They are super cool looking, which is pretty neat. The multi-charger, as I mentioned, this was a pretty hard bargain to not take them up on when I needed a drone. And this was, I wouldn't say it was in budget, but I made the budget work because it actually left me further ahead with more things that I wanted out of my drone that I wasn't even willing to spend the money on the old one. So I'm pretty excited. Stay tuned for a comparison between the two drones. I am going to get this charged up and fly it. I don't expect the flying experience or the quality of the content to be worlds ahead. I expect the still photos to be worlds ahead, but I don't expect the video and stuff. Like, it's so good on the Mavic Pro that I don't expect it to redefine the drone like the Mavic Pro did. So it's very interesting, super exciting. So stay tuned for more content. Stay tuned to see what I put together with this, with the car and the drone and everything going on. I hope everybody's staying safe in the current world conditions and having a fantastic day. Until next time, drive safe, take care, and behave, as always.